etymologically, there's this word called etymology. I'm trying to, be fancy with it.
Well,
But
what do you think, bro? Your education.
the word dope is directly tied to the word dopamine. So when you look at somebody do a skateboard trick, that shit's dope. When you got some weed, I'm about to roll up this dope. When somebody's leaning on the street, they probably just shot up some dope. That's just a synonym for saying that it made me feel good. You know what I'm saying? And we can't be disciplined if we're just chasing things that make us feel good.
Talk about. It's college for you. What's college for you? Human stat.
What was it, or how was it?
What's college for you? Because you were a college grad. Was it college experience for you? Human stat.
It was alright, but I was just sitting there trying to fight off that brainwashing, you feel me? So I knew that I needed that piece of paper to achieve certain things, and I was going to obtain it regardless because that was my intention. You can't go into things without intention, but what the college experience was me sitting in classrooms and seeing somebody spew curriculum that has been designed to brainwash us. Not even the person themselves knows that they're an agent of our destruction.
So what you talking about? How do you feel about these teachers that know that they're here to brainwash us, but go along with it because they want their royalties to be successful and the livelihood to say that they're rich, to have their yard, their property, and lawn and things of that nature? What would you say to a person that knows that the system is wrong, but still be like, well, I'm gonna sell out just because I want for my family? Because some people do sell out.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong.
And that's the main word I was going to use.
Why would people sell out just to make sure their family is good, or is that just the way the system is made for people? Because these are things that I like to get in that would concern like topics when we be talking in the discussion. I want to know why people sell out for things that even if they know that it's wrong, that benefits their whatever time on earth and think that is the right thing to do. And if I could meet a millionaire, the same question I'm asking you, I will ask them.
Yeah. Well, I think it's two sides to the coin. Right? I think on one hand, they might just not give a fuck and be very self-invested and think that they're better than the people that haven't realized the way that the system works and that they might as well abuse it. On the other hand, I think that they might be victim to this instilled and conditioned sense of helplessness that a lot of people in communities all across America have. Like, not even specific to actual people, but we can look at the black community being one of the most privy to the fact that this is a system designed to hurt us. Like, a lot of black people understand that if you go out to the store and ask them, like, is the government good for us type shit, or has it always been on our side? Niggas would be like, no. But at the same time, they'll tell you, what am I gonna do about it? Feel me? So I think everybody forgets that we have power in community and power in union, and that somebody that's exercising their beliefs or their knowledge in the way that you just described, they probably have that conditioned sense of helplessness where they don't think there's anything they could or should do about it without jeopardizing their own safety and well.
Very true. So the whole world wants to know on the Gentleman's Talk podcast, are you single?
Yeah.
Alright, so they want to find your social media. Would you like to give that out?
Nah. Can't drop the socials.
Well, he said he's single, so when y'all see the picture on the YouTube network, he will subscribe to it after.
Of course.
He is single, but he's not giving out his social media, so catch him in the Matrix, y'all.
Live in the simulation.
What's your opinion on the $14, $15 minimum wage in the state of Connecticut? Is that enough to survive off of it?
I think that at this point, they could give us $30 an hour, and it still wouldn't be enough to survive based off of the impact that that's going to have on the economy and the state economy. I think that this is just a big trap to push us towards universal-based income, where everyone gets just enough to live and afford their basic necessities, but not enough to climb the social economic ladder from what they were going into.
So now I have a question for a person that not knowing me but knows that I'm into doing creative art. Do you feel like art will be always a way for a person to be successful through the matrix of what they're trying to instill in individuals that are not really all the truth or what they feel their truth is? Keep it a step.
Do I think that art will always be a reliable source of income?
Reliable source of income if you're speaking facts.
If you're speaking truth.
Yes.
So do I think that you can make it without conforming?
With
Type
the,
shit.
with the reliable form of art through their system. Keep it a step. Or you think as an individual that's be a waste of time? I never asked that question to nobody, so you're the first. So I want your opinion, and I want you to be straightforward.
All right. So my first thought is I think that is good. I think that is something that you can do and obtain, but once you be organic and true to yourself. Because the way that the system works is like if you put out into the universe, it has to come back. Feel me? But you gotta stay away from the conditioning. You can't be conforming, thinking that this is what I'm supposed to do to make $1. And now you've made $50 being somebody that you're not, but now that's all that people want, and you can't even be yourself. And then by the time that image that you aspire to be dries up, because it's like everything comes in waves right now, feel me? So looking at like music, the shit that people are listening to right now, niggas was not listening to 5-6 years ago, feel me? And then you look at like the whole Detroit Flint era where it's Real the Young OG and Baby Smooth and Babyface Ray, all those type of rappers. It's like, yeah, you could have been a Connecticut rapper trying to sound like them, and you could get a few 100,000 plays or whatever. But now once people stop listening to Michigan music, you can't even be yourself.
Very true. Well, we appreciate that feedback. Do you believe in our local politicians?
Hell no.
Talk about why you don't.
Cause bro, it's a blue state. We're cooked. And that's not to say that I'm not privy to the blue and the red being two wings of the same eagle, feel me? But at the end of the day, I don't like what the Democrats have going on. I just don't. And I'm not a person that voted. I don't even I don't believe in voting.
I don't believe in voting either.
But at the same time, I would appreciate some positive politicians in my local area or even over the country, right? Like I wasn't going out my way to make sure that Trump got elected, but I knew that he was gonna get elected.
We all knew that.
Because
no woman win.
Yeah, the Matrix can't go the other way. You feel me? And if it did, it was gonna be the end of the world.
They're not gonna let no woman be the control of the national speaker. With all the Jews that set the table. A lot of people don't know it's about 35 Jews that sat the White House.
Harris is more strict too. She was a black woman and all of that, but she was more strict.
But how could you? How could
pick a looser candidate?
How could
everybody's scared of it?
I get where you're coming from. How could? But if there's 35 Jewish men at the Washington D.C. table, how could you overrule them? They don't want them. They don't want. You can. These are facts. You can pull out your phones. You can Google this.
Are you talking about the vote of the whole entire country? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about at this U.S. Senate table board in Washington D.C. There's 35 Jewish men on the board. You can Google it.
What perspective do we put that in?
I'm talking about in the perspective of they're going to say who's going to be in charge and who's not because their vote counts. In that perspective.
Do you think that?
Well, we're not Jewish. Some of them are on our some of them are liberal or on our side.
Doesn't matter, but they still gonna rock with
or they're with the freedom of the natives.
But no matter what, they're still they're still gonna rock with the majority. No matter if they're for or whatever, they're still gonna rock with the majority. Still gonna win. How many?
Just because they're Jewish, they're not always against us. You know?
Doesn't matter, but they are the ones that got the money.
We know that.
Who got the money?
They can work good.
Who had the money?
They got Jews in hip hop. They got Jews in hip hop.
Look at it like this.
Their money.
Look at it like this.
Go ahead.
The Jews might have enough people in positions of power, right, to have some form of influence. But when it comes down to it, look at the operations like Epstein. where it's ways to motivate people in power
That's what we do.
without having them already on your team. Feel me?
No,
So-
that's what our job is. People like yourself too. But I was saying, in general, they're the ones that have the money.
Facts, no facts. But you think they would have prevented her? That they were like the ones. I was like, nah, no, come on,
Of
take
course.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie. That's
think-
the way I feel.
I think it's an agenda. I think it's a whole agenda. Like
I
think
feel like they said no woman is going to be in our secret chambers, in our secret meetings.
Nah, I believe it.
That's just my
I feel
opinion.
like they weren't. I feel like people that's in the government weren't responsible. You know what I'm saying?
They're not. It's them secret
They're
cults.
they're puppets.
Yeah, so they're
You know what I'm
just so people that have to. They say you're not going to be in charge. We're gonna vote and make sure she don't, and we're gonna do whatever with the numbers to make sure this man be in power. I'm saying this from the outside looking, like I'm not, I'm just learning about these secret cults and
Yeah.
things of that nature and what they got going on at Yale and how presidents.
What you think about 9/11?
I think now that I know information on it, I can tell you what I think.
Yeah.
From my perspective, I feel that it was an inside job. From my perspective, I feel that only way a building can go down like that is through when you do indoor or inside construction. When you do inside demolition.
Yeah.
I feel that's the only way a building can fall like that, and I feel because the technology we have right now, they've been had back then. So they can make it look like that on TV, because when you have the technology, you can show anybody anything on the screen and what they're gonna do. Believe it. I'm saying because now that as I'm getting older, see back then I didn't understand, but now as I'm getting older, getting close.
So what benefits did you see?
Benefits from that. Now listen to this. Now what is the coincidence that I forgot the man that owns Larry Sealstein, whatever the man that one of the rich dudes that owns the Trade Towers. Why would he pull out a 99 million year lease saying I'm okay with reconstruction 6 weeks before 9/11?
Yeah.
That means you're okay with you killing people.
For sure.
I'm gonna say it's not like he did it, so that means you knew about the operation. Ain't nobody pulling out it's really because they had this, like I heard they had bacteria and things that was in like the buildings, and they couldn't afford to insurance something with their insurance. They couldn't afford to fix it, and it was killing different individuals that were in the building. So the only way they could get their money. This is what I researched.